Hi, my name is Dr. Tonya Moore, and I like to share why my genius is common. I have my education in a doctorate in business administration with a concentration in management, a master's in public administration. I'm a dean at a university. I start off my academic career as a professor and a director of institutional research. I've been pretty much a professor of probably about 3 or 4 universities. I'm also a major in the United States Army Reserves. I've been in the military now for probably about 25 years, so still going through my military life. I'm a vice president of Sharpen Image Incorporated, which is a full HR solution firm that actually does temps, permanent jobs, and all the different types of HR solutions, from training and all the other, et cetera, things that we try to do to make sure companies have the best talent in their organization. I'm also the consultant of Demo Consultant LLC, which is also supply small businesses with help with business plans, consulting, publish leadership books as well. And the other thing that I also do is I'm an author of a couple of novels. It's one novel that's out now, but it's a sequence. It's called Changes of Love. And Changes of Love is based off of my story and my wife's story in reference to being an LGBT family. And we've been together now. I'm married to Mrs. Linda Michelle Dennis Moore, and we've been married now legally for 5 years, but solid together for 18 years. So we decided to come up with our own books with sharing our life story. The first book is out now. It's Changes of Love, Beginning Years. And the next book is coming out this year. It's Changes of Love, Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I'm also a breast cancer survivor. I went through breast cancer 2010 to 2012, went through the chemo, lost all my hair, had to pretty much rebuild and reinvent, thank God, that I made it through that as well. And I started thinking about what am I great at? What am I good at? I know people always compliment me on that, you're a great dancer. And I know I love to dance. I've been dancing pretty much since I've been young. And I still do. I love to imitate Michael Jackson and all these other great dancers that's out here. But, I was trying to figure out whether that's my genius, and just started thinking, with me being in academics as a dean, speaking to a lot of people as a professor, speaking to a lot of soldiers. I used to be a commander of basic training. I used to be a regional training center branch chief for the military, training soldiers for Iraq and Afghanistan. I had a slew of roles, but I couldn't figure out what would be my genius? And I realized after I started thinking about it, I actually talk to people day in and day out. And for some reason, I have this ability to be able to connect the dots. I can listen to someone and figure out what is missing. What can make them successful, or what's that missing part in their life that can make them move forward and be able to accomplish something that they never dreamed that they would accomplish. And I realized that my genius is the fact that I can motivate somebody to make it to the next level. And I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm saying that to the fact that I'm very confident because of the feedback that I'm receiving from others. And I know whatever I do it from here. And I like to listen because somebody had to do it for me. And sometimes the challenge was a little hard in my life for somebody to say, you know what, I would mentor you through this process. I would mentor you so to see that you can make it to whatever level that you want to go to. Sometimes people just don't have time for that. But for me, I say, you know what, I would never want to repeat a cycle. I would always want to be that person and have that ability or somewhat of a power to be able to say, you know what, if somebody comes to me and say, hey, Dr. Moore, hey, Tonya, hey, T, can you help me with this? I say, of course I can. I never say no. The reason why I never say no, because I can find somebody that will help that person. And I say, you know what, that's my genius, because that's something I'm very passionate about. And my passion is always to see somebody excel to the next level. We're going to figure this thing out together. You and I are going to sit and we're going to talk about this. We're going to figure out what's stopping you to make it to the next level, and what can we do to bridge that gap. And let's come up with a plan. Let's come up with some type of glide path, milestones, so you can be able to go through that stuff. And I always say, just because, and I always create this milestone, and the milestone has stars with different points on it, different points to show them the different areas or a time frame that they should complete certain tasks. And at the top of this milestone, I have what I call a moon, and stars to figure out all these big points in your life that you want to accomplish certain things. And I always tell people, I say, you know what? I know your big idea or your whatever your career may be, you're trying to reach for this, and that's in that moon. But all the things that line up so you can get to that moon are your stars. So if you don't make it to the moon, you're still going to land among the stars. And that's one of the things I'm very confident in telling people about. I say, don't reinvent the wheel. I say, take what you got. Put a little armor all on it and change the rim. I say, but whatever your foundation is, that's what you should maintain so you can grow to the next level. That's what made you a great person. I would never, ever not recognize the fact that I know we used to be homeless. I know my mom was on drugs. But if you look at us today, you would never, ever notice that. But that's my foundation. So I listen to people because I have that passion as a breast cancer survivor. I have that passion to understand, life isn't guaranteed. So my genius is I want to make sure I listen to every soul, every person, and say, you know what? You can make it because I did. And this is why my genius is common.